You step out of your car, the gravel crunching beneath your shoes as you gaze at the old cabin that will be your home for the next week. It sits alone at the edge of a dense forest, surrounded by trees whose branches stretch like skeletal fingers against the dimming sky. The late afternoon light flickers through the leaves, casting long, spindly shadows on the ground that seem to dance in the cool breeze. The isolation is apparent. There are no other cabins in sight, no signs of life beyond the whispers of the woods. As you approach the cabin, the quietness deepens, settling over you like a thick fog. You shuffle your bags up the creaky porch steps, the wood beneath your feet moaning in protest. You've always loved the idea of being cut off from the world, a break from the relentless noise of everyday life, but now that you're here, a sliver of unease claws at your gut. You shake it off, reminding yourself why you came: to find solace in solitude, to write, to reflect. Inside, the air is cool and stale, imbued with the scent of damp wood and years gone by. The cabin is sparsely furnished, a small kitchen with a propane stove, a single bathroom, and a cozy living room dominated by a worn-out sofa facing the stone fireplace. In the corner, there's a staircase that leads to a loft, where you decide to set up your bedroom, bringing a sense of separation from the ground floor. After unpacking, you pull out your notebook and settle into a chair by the window, ready to let words flow onto the page. But as daylight wanes, the shadows in the corners deepen, and your thoughts feel entangled in the thick atmosphere. You lift your gaze from the page and stare into the thickening trees beyond the window. Their twisted forms seem to whisper secrets, twisting, turning in the shadows. You blink, forcing your imagination to quiet, but the unease grows. That night, you retire early, hoping rest will soothe your mind. You wrap yourself in the warmth of blankets as the wind howls outside, rattling the windows. A quiet rustle reaches your ears, a soft creaking like a breath drawing close. You shake your head, attributing it to the house settling, yet it feels like more than that. As you drift into sleep, you dream of the forest, where figures stalk just beyond the trees, their shapes indistinct in the half-light. You wake suddenly, heart pounding in the darkness, uncertain of the noise that pulled you from sleep. You listen, straining against the quiet. It's just the wind, is it? The next day, you set out to explore the surroundings, hoping to shake off the lingering dread. The forest is beautiful in a haunting way. Ancient trees curve over gnarled roots, their bark worn smooth with time. You walk along an overgrown path that meanders deeper into the woods. The sounds of the forest surround you, left to your own thoughts, but an anxiety frays at the back of your mind. You discover a small clearing where sunlight breaks through the canopy, illuminating a sun-bleached wooden signpost that reads, "Beware." Next to it, there are vague markings on the trees, crude symbols carved deep into the bark. You reach out to touch one, your fingers grazing the rough surface, when a gust of wind sweeps through, sending a chill racing down your spine. The symbols feel wrong. The air thickens, a weight settling over you as your instincts scream to turn back. You return to the cabin, the unease having wrapped itself tightly around your chest. You sit by the fireplace, trying to concentrate on your writing, but the spectre of the unknown lurks just beyond your thoughts. As evening falls, shadows flicker against the walls, twisting and contorting in ways that feel deliberately sinister. The wind howls outside. On the third night, you lie in bed with the covers pulled tightly around your ears, convinced the night will swallow you whole. You lie awake, contemplating the sounds that surround you. When sleep finally takes you, it is restless and punctuated by nightmares of figures emerging from the trees, whispering to you in the dark, beckoning you to join them. You wake drenched in a cold sweat, heart racing, and the oppressive atmosphere presses down heavy upon you. The next day, your resolve hardens. You decide to confront whatever it is lurking outside. Armed with a flashlight, you venture into the woods once again, determined to discover the source of your unease. This time, you follow the path deeper, the air growing thick and musty as you slip past the shadows of the trees. Hours pass as you push through the underbrush, the sun creeping overhead. It isn't until you stumble upon a small, dilapidated wooden structure that you stop, your breath hitching in your throat. It's similar to the cabin, but this one looks long abandoned. The door hangs loosely on its hinges, creaking ominously in the breeze. Against your better judgment, you step inside. The air inside is stale, thick with dust and decay. Sunlight filters through broken windows, revealing relics of a life that once thrived here. A cracked dining table, a rusted stove, and weeds that have claimed the floorboards. In the corner, you notice a child's toy, a faded stuffed bear with one button eye, its fur matted and damp. You shiver, and a sense of depraved melancholy washes over you. But it's the walls that catch your attention most. They are covered in more of those disturbing symbols you saw earlier, as if someone had feverishly clawed at the surfaces, trying to etch something into existence. Your heart races, a vivid tingle coursing through your body. A sense of wrongness heavy in the air, you feel the need to flee. Before you can turn back, a low sound echoes from the back of the cabin. You freeze, breath caught in your throat. It's barely discernible, a childlike giggle, sharp and raspy, cutting through the stillness. Adrenaline pushes you ahead, the whispered laughter pulling you deeper into the darkness of the abandoned cabin, even as dread coils in your stomach. You step cautiously toward the noise, the floor creaking underfoot. Shadows twist more aggressively, stretching toward you as you move, the sounds drawing you in like a moth to flame. You're almost there when a quick movement catches your eye, and you spin, the flashlight beams sweeping back through the rooms. Nothing. With your heart pounding, you press on, the unsettling tension electrifying the air around you. As you arrive at a small back room, your flashlight catches a glimpse of a figure standing in the shadows, half obscured. You squint harder, trying to decipher what it is. It's just a child. You breathe a sigh of relief, momentarily easing your fear. But as the figure turns, revealing a hollow face and sunken eyes, your relief crashes into stone. The child's mouth opens, but no sound escapes. Only a chilling silence as it lurches toward you. Your instincts explode into panic. You stumble backward, escaping the room, crashing into furniture that sends a wooden chair tumbling to the floor. You run, the dim light of your flashlight flickering in and out as you navigate through the woods, the trees seeming to close in around you, their gnarled arms reaching to ensnare you. The shadows whisper louder, merging with your hurried breath, the trees echoing your flight. Every rustle feels alive, and every shadow paints horrific illusions on the edges of your vision. You finally burst from the trees, gasping as you reach the clearing, desperation fueling your steps. You glance back, expecting to be followed, but the woods seem still, the figures retreating into the depths. You stumble back toward your cabin, the knot of fear tightening every moment. You lock the door behind you, leaning against it, as if that will somehow shield you from whatever lies in the darkness outside. The room is oppressive now, filled with dread and anticipation. Your mind races. Every creak of the old wood sends you spiraling into panic. The wind shrieks outside, and shadows flicker across the walls, crawling into your consciousness. When night falls, you find yourself clutching a kitchen knife, a pathetic shield against the unknown. You sit beside the fireplace, eyes darting between the door and the windows, straining to catch any sound. Your mind races, lost in a spiral of paranoia. You try to write, but the words twist into a reflection of your fear. A part of you knows you are losing your grip on sanity, but you can't shake the sense that something is waiting, watching. Something that has been here long before you arrived. The night stretches on. Just as you think exhaustion might claim you, there's a soft knock at the door, barely audible but so real that it nearly sends you leaping from your chair. You freeze, your pulse hammering in your ears. Should you answer? Another knock, the sound repeating like a heartbeat. It lures you like a song, seductive and dreadful. You stand, hesitating as the darkness swallows the room. The door feels impossibly heavy, a weight that holds secrets you're not ready to face. With a trembling breath, you approach. Knife raised at your side, the world closing in around you. Each step feels monumental, and when you finally lay your hand on the doorknob, you are struck by a horrid realization. You know, deep down, that whatever is beyond this door is not something that simply wants to play. With a deep breath, your resolve falters, and you fumble to unhinge the latch. The door creaks open slowly, the whisper of the night falling in around you. Your flashlight flickers to life. Through the sliver of the door, you see nothing at first, only the blackness stretching before you. And yet, in the silence that follows, you hear it. the haunting laughter of a child mixed with the rustling of leaves, growing near. You step outside, crossing the threshold into the unknown. The air vibrates with that unsettling energy, the shadows beckoning, and you know then that the forest has been waiting for you all along. The laughter grows louder, more demanding, pulling you further into the darkness, where the trees whisper promises of belonging beneath the frayed strands of reality. As you venture forth, the door swings shut behind you with a resounding thud. The cabin becomes just another shadow amongst the twisted trees, lost to the night, waiting for the next soul drawn by the darkness, waiting for someone like you.